Sorry people, just securing the gate here, the passageway for the cows, you know, so they don't go through. I had to put up this barbed wire so you can see it here. The little rustic strategies for the cattle. The last couple of days I wanted to come through here, but it was pretty populated with the cows and I didn't want to be disturbing them. Cataracts. What do you think of cataracts? Doctors who go to Brazil and other equatorial regions where children without means and modern medicine are afflicted by major damage from the sun and their vision is really blocked. It's wonderful to see so many medical professionals relieving so many children of horrible difficulties, inability to see. Imagine not being able to see the sunrise, the light. So many nuances to see the sunrise in people's faces and their eyes. And the cataracts that were removed today from Tobit's eyes, as we read. I just point out again, I have done already a couple of times. So here we have the Sea of Galilee. Everybody knows that, unless you're totally new to this live stream. And then that hill up in the center of the screen is where Svat is, an ancient, an old Jewish town. And beyond that, in the north of there, is the town from where the story has Tobit leave to exile in the time of the great exiles of the Jewish people to Mesopotamia. In the early part of the exile, because we're in the northern kingdom here, Judah and Jerusalem were the last to be taken into exile in the time of Jeremiah the prophet. And now we've been reading all this week the story of Tobit, and tomorrow will be the final session of that, God willing. Young people having fun. So today is a moment of great joy, and Tobias comes home with Sarah, his wife, and Tobit is healed of his blindness. Just got to show you this one here because we've been watching them a long time. Our little caper blossoms. Maybe we'll see more easily, but on our path. But at least we saw those up close. And how Tobias' mother is so thrilled. The encounter, the human encounter, when a child is away for a while on a special mission, on a very unpredictable outcome, heading for a purpose, and the joy of the fulfillment. There's also a great tinge of sadness because she says, now I can die because I see you with my eyes. I can see you with my eyes. And Tobit is so happy and all the people are so happy. Becomes a great festive occasion for the whole people. And they all rejoiced. They were all exiles, the Jewish people in Nineveh, and the whole community rejoices. They rejoiced during exile because of many blessings, great blessings. And it's so interesting, you know, we're almost at the end of the chapter 12 of Mark's Gospel, and we'll be migrating on Monday to Matthew's Gospel because the daily readings have already exhausted all the public life in Mark's Gospel. Chapter 13 will be the apocalyptic type of thoughts at the end before the Passion starts. So at the end of at the end of Mark's public life gospel, basically we're there. So we have all these discussions, very high-powered intellectual discussions. You know, the biblical people were always so scrutinizing the scriptures, studying, trying to understand the mysteries, veiled in mystery, shrouded in mystery. Like if there were cataracts, not being able to see. Not being able to see. And it's amazing how Jesus, in such a humble way, unfolds the covering from the understanding of Scripture. You know, we have this experience repeatedly throughout Scripture, not just at Emmaus when he's walking along the road with the disciples and their hearts were burning with his explanations of the Scriptures. How the prophets and the Torah, the law, spoke of the Messiah that would come and suffer. And they are just amazed how all this should be. And today we have this incredible text that probably was expounded in this way like never before. And in Psalm 110, the Lord said to my Lord, so attributed to David. Then David is saying, the Lord said to my Lord, who is his son. So how can David's son be his Lord? So there Jesus is gently, in a very enigmatic way, prodding the minds of these scholars, of these people searching for the Scriptures, prodding their minds to the fullness of the mystery, without doing violence. They're ready to do violence. They want to kill him at times, and yet he has such an incredible serenity. Like a parent with a very rebellious child, and the child might have a lot of potential, a lot of capacity, but it's in a moment of deep rebellion with the parents, and how the parents have to be patient. And rather than justifying themselves, the parents who love the child are going to even take abuse from the child, but they want the child to discover for themselves about the values of life. And they will try to open a window, try to open a door, try to let in a ray of light. Love does that. And how well infinite love does it. The patience, the joy. the patience, the suffering, and then the joy. And this whole point of the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right. You know, Jesus as descendant of David, maybe we don't appreciate that too much if we don't have this biblical schooling from childhood. I mean, really within the Jewish people, because the New Testament is filled with it. And just following on a couple of notes, I was reading up on this, and in Genesis chapter 49, so the very beginning of the Bible, the first book of the Bible, Judah, before he dies, he's leaving his testament, if you will, his legacy, which is a prophecy to his sons, describing their future, and how the mace, which is the symbol of power of the king in the Orient, how the mace would not leave between the legs of Judah. In other words, Judah would rule. And the fascinating thing is that 5 or 6 lines before the very end of the Bible, in Apocalypse 22, again we have Jesus presented in heaven in glory at the right hand of the Father at the wedding feast of the Lamb. And he is presented as the root and the stem of David. So a descendant of David, but the founder of David. So this mystery, you know, pervades the consciousness of those raised in the people of the scriptures. It's really powerful to come to that awareness of how interconnected the whole Bible is. And you see from Genesis, which obviously is a very old text, and before that was a very old oral tradition, it is totally connected on many levels, in many themes, with the book of Revelation. Because the foundation and the flourishing, the seed and the plant that brings forth the flower, that brings forth the seed, it's all connected. You know, here we'll just go up here to show you this here, where it could have been one of the thistles as well, but you know, oh, there we have our bees again, lots of them actually. So we have the flower, you know, producing the seed that produces the plant, and we have God the Creator founding the whole cosmos, and particularly the plan of redemption when things go foul for humanity, and then the role of very concrete people to bring the plan to fulfillment. And in the purification of the desires of this fulfillment. My kingdom is not of this world. So today I think we can ponder a lot about the gift of sight, the cataracts removed, the humility involved, the opening of the heart for the mystery, the opening of the mind, the humility exercised by God in doing this for us, the humility we need to receive it, and to realize how little we know, and to be able to be taught, which is the meaning of the word disciple, to become a disciple, because somehow we're all beautifully endowed with a sense that we're infallible in what we think and know now, and we have so much to learn. So much to grow, and the most important thing is to learn about humility, to grow in humility. The best way to grow in humility is to exercise it, like anything else. Here we have a nice view of Tiberias in the morning sunlight. People, thank you so much for joining. We haven't been over this far for a while here on this path. God bless you. It's great to have you here. May you be blessed today. May you help also the removal of cataracts, but do it in a gentle way with great humility, helping people to see more and more. God bless you today.